My name is Mary Oyeke. I was diagnosed with cancer in December of 2020. I took about a week researching on the best place where I could get treatment. I ended up at the MP Shah right here at the HCG Center. Now I started with chemo. I did 8 sessions of chemo right up across the corridor. I finished chemo, took a break, went in for surgery. The surgery was done at Kijabe, and then took a 1-month break, and then came back here for radiotherapy. The radiotherapy was done downstairs, 25 sessions. Yes. That was most of 2021. How I felt was through losing relatives. I always felt that I had to check. Self-examination is very important. I encourage it for everybody. There's a process to it, but you lift your hand above your head and you search. So I felt it, and I'd felt it for a couple of months, but I was in denial a little bit. And then just the prohibitive cost of treatment also, I was just like, where am I going to get the money? Because I wasn't working at that point. And then eventually, my lymph nodes started to swell. And I realized at that point that I did need to go in and see a doctor. I did, and the general surgeon ordered for me to see a surgeon. The general practitioner ordered for me to see a surgeon. I saw the surgeon, he did the biopsy, and after about 3 weeks of waiting for the results, I was told that I had, the lab work came, and I read that I had carcinoma, very long, complicated name, but at stage 2. Yes. It was, I think I was expecting it because I have lost aunties on both sides of my family. So it wasn't very strange. And my brother also died of another form of cancer. I'd lost a number of family members, and 2 of my uncles are going through the same walk. One, 40 years later, his cancer came back. The other one has had maybe for about the same period of time. So the results didn't quite shock me. And I got the results and went and had a good lunch. Because I was like, well, you know, I'm sick. I can't change that. So I ate some very nice traditional food, and then he said, okay, now, how do we deal with this? Fortunately, I have a cousin who is a doctor. So I scanned him the results, and he said, my sister, you need to start treatment immediately. So he sent me, maybe I don't want to give the names, but he sent me to another hospital. But then in talking to a friend of mine, she told me, no, don't go to that particular hospital. And she ended up sending me here. And that is how I started on the journey for treatment. Now, I was blessed because I found, I can say, the best doctor. And in this journey, you have to have a good doctor. Dr. James Mbogo, he's now at Avenue, the best. If you're sick, you need a good doctor, you need a good team behind you, you need family support. Family and friends is key to your getting better, because your mind has to be in a place where full healing can happen. If you have negative energy, it makes the healing journey that much more difficult. If you tap into every strength that you have, then chances of you getting better are higher. If someone close to you is diagnosed, please don't worry. It is the worst thing you can do to someone who has been diagnosed with cancer, because everybody knows it's a death sentence. So don't make it worse by crying, don't make it. I refused. I said, I have friends and cousins who, I said, no. We are not going to talk until you're ready to talk to me without crying. So I was very calm. They said, oh, Mary, I said, no, we are not going to cry, because if you cry, then what am I going to do? Early diagnosis helps, because then the treatment process is more manageable. If you leave it to too late, then it becomes they're not just managing the illness, they're not actually treating you. So I would encourage everybody to get tested. I would encourage employers to make it compulsory for employees to get tested. It is cheaper for your insurance. It is cheaper for the company if your employees are encouraged to do, actually maybe forced to do that annual check. I only did checks when I was going into new employment. I never thought that I would need to have periodic checks, and yet it can save your life. Take advantage of these free, when they have the breast cancer awareness, go and get checked. When they have, like next week they have, or end of this week they have the cancer day. So there's a lot of free or subsidized costs for checkups. Take advantage of those. It helps, yes. Now, one important thing which needs to be clear is research. I know this is sort of middle class of me to say, but if you can, research as much as possible on what options you have. Talk to your doctor. The first doctor that I saw wanted full mastectomy, but it didn't sit right with me. So I talked to my friend who had just finished the journey, and she sent me here. And Dr. Mbogo said, no, but this growth is very small. We don't need to do a mastectomy unless you want one. And we discussed in discussion with him, he said, no, it wasn't necessary. So there reaches a stage where then mastectomy is necessary, because now it started spreading to the rest of your body. But if it's contained in one place, then they do what is called a lumpectomy. But NHIF covers the mastectomy. So when you go to NHIF, you need, I don't know how, maybe I'm assertive, I don't know, but ask questions and let them take as much time as possible explaining to you your benefits, what you are entitled to, and most importantly, if you choose, because they give you like a range of facilities. So if you choose versus your entitlement in is higher than, say, because of the contracts they sign, and because of they classify the hospitals into government, into private, and then what do they call the church-based one? There's a name for it. Yeah. So you need to be fully informed of what advantage there is in every hospital before you make the choice. But then again, one needs to be assertive in finding out that information. It's available on their website, but it's not explained. So you just see hospitals, and then they tell you to choose the one that is nearest to where you live, but then it may not be convenient for your pocket. So all those things come into play. I was lucky because I know somebody at NHIF, but not everybody has that privilege. So talk to NHIF, talk to people, we are available. If you want to talk, my contact is at Faraja. Faraja is they have a web site. Call them, ask to be linked up with somebody that has walked this journey, that can tell you what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to do. And it really just helps, because you're not fumbling. You're working from a point of, so-and-so is helping me walk this journey. Most of the county governments have set up cancer centers at the main hospital in every county, which is a good thing. We applaud. And those that haven't need to, so that if someone finds out that they are sick, that they have a place that they can go to. A lot of awareness needs to be created for people to know that these facilities exist, so that if they get sick, they know where to go. And also, during these awareness days, let me call them that the information reaches the ground. That it's not just Mary who's in town who knows, I can go to hospital X, I will get tested, I will go to hospital Y, I will get what, So the woman on the ground needs to know that these facilities are available, and NHIF, literally, everybody should get on NHIF. it has to be made possible for as many people as possible to get onto NHIF, because it saves your family half the cost of treatment. NHIF actually does work, and we need to get on it, and we need to take advantage of that which the government provides.